So, I hope you'll forgive me if I'm a little frustrated that some of us choose to overlook Donald Trump's glaring incompetence while expecting Kamala Harris to impress us at every turn. I hope you'll also forgive me if I'm a little angry that we are indifferent to his erratic behavior, his obvious mental decline, and his history as a convicted felon. Being president is nothing like reality TV, it's not an apprenticeship, and it's not just about fiery speeches or provocative tweets. It's about whether someone can truly handle the immense responsibility of leading this country. Michelle Obama just delivered a powerful statement about Donald Trump, and it has everyone talking. In a moment of pure eloquence, she called him a weak man, and let's just say Trump's response was nothing short of a digital meltdown. His rants escalated into incoherent, all-caps tirades, leaving his staff scrambling to contain the situation. The chaos that followed was unbelievable. Get ready for the ultimate political showdown. Michelle is speaking the truth, and Trump is struggling to handle it. We know that people will do everything they can to twist her words. My husband and I, unfortunately, know a little something about that. For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to make people fear us. His narrow, limited worldview made him feel threatened by two hardworking, highly educated, and successful individuals who happen to be black. Trump's obsession with the Obamas feels like a never-ending sequel that nobody asked for. No matter how often he claims he has moved on, the moment Michelle speaks, he's right back at it, desperate to discredit her, as if it's his full-time job. It's almost impressive how someone who claims to have won so much spends so much time bitter about the fact that people actually liked his predecessor. We have a candidate for president who, over the course of his life and throughout this campaign, has made statements about women so appalling that I won't repeat them here today. It has shaken me to my core in ways I never expected. This is a powerful individual speaking openly about sexually predatory behavior, bragging about kissing and groping women, using language so obscene that many of us were concerned about our children hearing it on television. The real kicker? Michelle Obama doesn't have to insult him, mock him, or even acknowledge his existence. Just being in the room, exuding grace, intelligence, and credibility is enough to send him into a spiral. Imagine spending your whole life trying to be adored, only to realize that your biggest rival doesn't even have to try. While Trump shouts into the void about rigged elections and unfair treatment, Michelle moves forward, securing book deals, Netflix partnerships, and a level of respect he could never buy, no matter how much he spends. I am tired of all the chaos and nastiness in our politics. It's exhausting, and frankly, it's depressing. I understand the urge to shut it all out. And the best part? Michelle doesn't even have to try. At the end of the day, she knows one simple truth: nothing frustrates Trump more than a woman who refuses to crumble under his fragile ego. His entire persona thrives on validation, yet the one person who commands global admiration without even seeking it drives him mad. It's almost poetic. While he complains about unfair treatment on social media, Michelle is out there making a difference, empowering young women, fighting for education, and reminding the world what real leadership looks like. And she does it all effortlessly, making Trump's forced bravado look even more ridiculous. With your support on November 5th, we can ensure that true leadership prevails. Every time she gives a speech about compassion or resilience, Trump reacts as if she's reading his worst Yelp review live on television. His reaction isn't just insecurity, it's full-blown panic. He knows that no matter how many rallies he holds, how many slogans he puts on hats, or how many times he pretends to care about the people, he'll never have what Michelle has: credibility. The irony is that while Trump constantly demands loyalty and praise, Michelle simply earns it. People don't need to be convinced to respect her, they just do. And that reality is something Trump will never accept. Deep down, he knows that no matter how loud he yells, Michelle Obama will always outshine him without even trying. In just his first term alone, Barack had to rescue the economy from the worst crisis since the Great Depression, make the call to take out Osama bin Laden, respond to devastating natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy, and so much more. So when it comes to the qualifications we should demand in a president, we need someone who will take the job seriously. Since 2016, Trump has had the same pattern. He sees someone with intelligence, dignity, and global respect, and suddenly, he's on a social media rampage like a teenager grounded from his Xbox. But Michelle is on a different level of infuriating for him. She's everything he's not: respected, accomplished, and most importantly, unbothered by his existence. And that last part? That's the real kicker. Trump thrives on attention, whether it's love or hate, but Michelle doesn't even grant him the courtesy of acknowledgement. She doesn't waste time on petty arguments or tantrums. She simply speaks facts, drops the mic, and walks away, while Trump is left furiously typing out his latest all-caps rant. The worst part for him? Michelle doesn't just have admirers, she has legacy-defining influence. While Trump's supporters need constant reassurance that he's still relevant, Michelle's impact is self-sustaining. She's out here shaping policy, leading initiatives, and setting the bar for grace under pressure, while Trump struggles to keep track of his lawsuits. No matter how many times he tries to rewrite history, Michelle remains the ultimate reminder of everything he will never be. And when Trump rants about her, those posts are where the real comedy happens. He throws out wild, all-caps declarations like a malfunctioning robot programmed to scream about fake news. Sometimes he even drags in random celebrities, politicians, or completely unrelated topics just to see what sticks. One minute he's ranting about Michelle Obama, and the next he's somehow blaming low shower pressure or the price of hamburgers for his problems. But the best part? No matter how many times he denies, deflects, and tantrums his way across the internet, the reality stays the same: Michelle Obama doesn't even acknowledge his existence. She's out there doing real work, writing bestsellers, and inspiring millions, while Trump is somewhere in a banquet hall, shouting into a microphone about how unfairly he's been treated. And the cycle repeats itself, like a bad sitcom rerun. He takes the bait every single time, proving once again that no amount of power, money, or gold-plated furniture can make up for the fact that he will always be outclassed by someone who doesn't even have to try. Hit back, sir. You're winning. Just relax. 10:07 all caps, extra exclamation marks. 10:10 completely unhinged. It's like watching a toddler throw a tantrum in a luxury high chair. The funniest part? His followers eat it up. They rally behind him as he spirals, completely unaware that the more he screams into the void, the more he proves Michelle right. The contrast between Michelle Obama and Trump is so stark it could be an instructional video on leadership versus reality TV drama. Michelle carries herself with dignity, delivering speeches that inspire generations. Trump's idea of public speaking? Yelling about ratings and imaginary accomplishments while struggling to pronounce words with more than 2 syllables. Michelle wrote a best-selling memoir that people actually read. Trump launched a blog that lasted fewer weeks than a carton of milk. Michelle built initiatives that uplift communities. Trump's big contribution to society? Making red hats terrifying. And let's not forget Melania. Poor Melania, who looks like she's permanently trying to astral project herself out of her own marriage. If Michelle represents a first lady with grace, Melania represents a woman who clearly has an escape plan. She's just waiting for the right moment. I want to know, who's going to tell him? Who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs? And let's be real, those rage posts are where the true comedy gold happens. He'll throw out wild, all-caps declarations that sound like a malfunctioning robot programmed to scream about fake news. Sometimes, he even drags in random celebrities, politicians, or completely unrelated topics just to see what sticks. One minute he's ranting about Michelle Obama, and the next, he's somehow blaming low shower pressure or the price of hamburgers for his downfall. But the best part? No matter how many times he denies, deflects, and tantrums his way through the internet, the reality remains the same: Michelle Obama doesn't even acknowledge his existence. She's out there doing actual work, writing bestsellers, and inspiring millions. Meanwhile, Trump is somewhere in a Mar-a-Lago banquet hall, shouting into a microphone about how unfairly he's been treated. And the cycle repeats itself, like a bad sitcom rerun. He takes the bait every single time, proving once again that no matter how much power, money, or gold-plated furniture he surrounds himself with, he still can't handle being outclassed by someone who doesn't even have to try. It's a masterclass in effortless dominance. And Trump? Well, he's just giving the world another meltdown to laugh at. I noticed that you went back to the White House recently, that you haven't been back since. You weren't invited? Nope. You know, that's a tradition, you do your official portraits, and the next president is supposed to invite you back to hang them. We were never invited back. These pictures have been done for a long time. And oh, how he plays the victim. Trump loves nothing more than pretending he's being attacked, even when someone is simply stating facts. He'll claim the media is out to get him, that the Obamas are plotting against him, and that he's the real victim here. The irony? He built his entire brand on winning, yet somehow, he whines more than anyone else. And when it comes to the strategy of redirecting? Since addressing criticism is off the table, Trump will immediately pivot. Maybe he brings up Biden, Hillary, or, in a desperate move, claims Obama did something in 2008 that the media covered up. The goal? Confuse his base just enough that they forget what they were talking about in the first place. See, no matter how bad it gets, Trump will always find a way to convince himself he won. Michelle Obama just obliterated him in front of millions? Fake news. People are laughing at him? They're secretly jealous. His approval ratings are lower than expired yogurt? Lies. In his mind, reality is just an inconvenience that can be ignored with enough caps lock and exclamation points. Did you see Barack Hussein Obama last night? Taking little shots, he was taking shots at your president. And so was Michelle. You know, they always say, "Sir, please stick to policy, don't get personal." And yet, they're getting personal all night long. Do I still have to stick to policy? Michelle Obama isn't just a former First Lady, she's a symbol of what actual leadership looks like. Trump, on the other hand, is a cautionary tale. Every time Michelle speaks, she reminds the world that dignity, intelligence, and kindness matter.